In order for life to exist, energy input must exceed energy loss. Cellular processes are often coupled, and metabolic pathways allow for control and efficiency. So, when we first look at these laws of thermodynamics, we know that energy cannot be created or destroyed, it only changes form. But those changes in form cannot happen without a loss of usable energy. So, as we look at this example, first we can see solar light energy is going to be transformed into chemical energy through photosynthesis. And ultimately, that chemical energy can be transformed into mechanical energy. But as this process occurs, none of these conversions take place without some loss of energy through heat. And it will never be completely transferred without some form of flow and separation here, about 40% efficiency. We're going to always lose some as heat. So if we look at that at a cellular level, again, we're taking this solar energy, we're taking in some matter, and with that matter, through photosynthesis, we're going to take that chemical energy or that light energy and turn it into chemical energy in the carbohydrate, and that carbohydrate can help create mechanical energy in the contraction of muscles. However, all of these processes are also going to lose energy through usable energy through heat loss. So again, in order for this moose to survive, we need a constant input of energy, because if the input does not exceed the output, life cannot exist and it wouldn't stay ordered. Now, when we start thinking about order, we think about the way things naturally occur. So if we would have a glucose molecule, it would break down into carbon dioxide and water. Now, that process takes something that's organized and turns it into something less organized. And this is going to happen spontaneously. We are going to have a negative free energy state at the end here. And we would call that reaction exergonic, because this spontaneous reaction is going to release energy as it occurs. Now, we often couple reactions together and processes together. So exergonic would couple with endergonic, and endergonic reactions require an input of energy to occur. So if we have ADP and we have a free phosphate group, it's going to take an input of energy in order to create ATP, which is going to be less stable. Another human example here is we have hydrogen ions at equilibrium on either side of a lipid bilayer. In order to take those and put them all on one side, that would have to be an endergonic reaction. That endergonic reaction would not happen spontaneously. So it has to be coupled with an exergonic reaction. And that exergonic reaction we're talking about here is when ATP becomes ADP plus a free phosphate. And that is going to happen spontaneously. In order for this to occur, the endergonic reaction to occur, it has to be coupled with the exergonic spontaneous reaction. So again, we have this idea of energy, but it's really just chemistry here, and it's going to change the structural conformation of the things that the phosphates are attached to. When we phosphorylate something, it's going to change shape. So when we are thinking about muscle contraction, we have actin and myosin muscle filaments. When the ATP attaches to the myosin head, it's going to have it at a resting shape. When the ATP spontaneously breaks down to ADP and P, it's going to form a cross bridge with the actin. Now, as the ADP and P leaves the myosin head, we're going to have that power stroke where muscle contraction will occur. Again, all of this is happening through chemistry. We often think about this with our active transport. And the carrier protein, it has one particular shape until it becomes phosphorylated, and then that change in chemistry changes the shape of the molecule. So as we look at all of this, we pair endergonic reactions with exergonic reactions. Oftentimes we pair synthesis reactions with decomposition reactions. Things that build things up, anabolic reactions with catabolic reactions that break things down. When we put all of these reactions together, we get our metabolism, the sum total of all chemical reactions that are taking place. And when we think about metabolism, it happens within specific pathways within each cell. Now, we provide regulation of this process and these pathways through enzymes. So we could have the substrate A turn into the product B with enzyme 1 catalyzing that reaction. Now, this isn't one reaction, then it's done. Oftentimes the product becomes a substrate for the next reaction, and B fits onto E, the active site of enzyme 2 here, and that would give us a new product. And again, that could follow up with the ultimate product of D. Now, this seems pretty straightforward, but the reality when we get into communication and signal transduction pathways as well, there are lots of different options that things can take. So A doesn't always make B. A could also create E using a different enzyme. So A might fit on enzyme 1, but it might also fit on enzyme 4. And that gives us a different product. This product could create F through enzyme 5. And again, there's no limit to how complex some of these diagrams can get. We can branch off different products through different enzymes and on and on. Now, what makes this special is that depending on which genes have been turned on within that cell, you may have very specific enzymes that are created. We've also talked about how enzymes can be activated through different pathways as well. So if we have a cell that has these enzymes present and active, we would get these products. And in a different cell or at a different time within a different environment, different enzymes may be present or activated, and you can end up with many different products because of the regulation of these metabolic pathways. So overall, energy input must exceed energy loss in order for life to exist. Many reactions and processes are coupled, and metabolic pathways allow for a lot of control and efficiency.